Hi, this is Amanda for Lavinia World, and today I have a simple watercolor wash card for you using Dr. P.H. Martin's watercolors, but you can use any watercolors that you have on hand. So I had a little bit of trouble with my camera today. Well, the day that I recorded this, not today. But I got a new computer, and anyway, I just had some trouble. So we're going to start with the second coat of the watercolor today. But basically, I did the same thing as I did for the first coat. So my paper had dried a little bit, so I wet it down with a water spray bottle, which I don't usually do, but I usually just coat it with the brush for the first coat. But anyway, so I did wet it with my spray bottle, and then I am just adding the second coat, and I am listing the colors at the top of the screen for you. If you're not familiar with Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors, they are a liquid watercolor. So I do have the colors off to the side on the white part of my glass mat. I do not usually show that on my screen because my lights are so bright that the white part of my glass mat tends to be a bit blinding. So that's why I do not have that shown on my screen. But I do, like I said, have the colors up at the top for you if you do want to see the colors that I used. So I'm not really worried about these blending perfectly here because it's not really going to matter once I add my scene on top. So I am starting off here with Rue. She is a one that I have coveted for a little while, and I did get her recently. I'm going to stamp her off in VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I do like the Nocturne because it stamps very well. So I'm just going to stamp her and just rub it real well because we are stamping on watercolor paper and it is textured, and as you know, it doesn't always stamp real well, but because we're using VersaFine, it's going to stamp pretty well. If you don't stamp great the first time, then you can just stamp it again because it is a stamp positioner, or you can fill it in with a black marker. I did stamp most of these images twice, but I'm saving you the heartache of having to watch that. So we are going to move on here to the hanging lanterns. Is that what they're called? Yes, they're hanging lanterns. And then I'm just going to move them over to the other side and just vary the length here so we have a little bit of interest in our scene. So I'm just going to make these ones a little bit shorter, and then we're going to stamp them. And my idea here was to have kind of a sunset scene that Rue is hanging in front of here with all her little hanging plants that's dangling, around her. So now we're going to move on to the willow plants, and there are two different lengths of these ones, so this is going to make filling in our scene real quick here. And so I'm just going to fill in both of those, and again I'm varying the lengths, even though there are two different lengths here, but I'm still going to vary the lengths as I fill in my scene. So I'm going to stamp the last two here, again varying the lengths. And I am also stamping off the side here. That's just going to make it seem like we're filling in the scene, and it's not, like a planned I don't know exactly what the word is, but you want to stamp off your scene that way it just looks like it's filled in and it's not so perfect. So now I've got the 3 dancing fairies, even though I only used 2, so it's 2 dancing fairies, but the stamp instead is called 3 dancing fairies. And then I've got the live your life, or live the life sentiment. And those are all separate stamps. Each word is a separate stamp, and I am covering them with Ranger Clear embossing powder. So here I've got the Sakura Quickie glue pen, and I'm just going to cover the wings of the 3 dancing fairies, or my 2 dancing fairies, and Rue. And I did not show Rue because my focus on my camera was not quite in focus. Sometimes the autofocus likes to focus on the end of the pen instead of my hand, which is not very nice of it to do. So then I've got these Sakura Stardust glitter pens, and I took and I filled in the hanging lanterns with them. And I also did Rue's hair as well. I did her hair in an orange and the hanging lanterns in kind of like this magenta color. While I was waiting for the Sakura while I was waiting for the Sakura glue pen to dry. And I'm going to, now that it's dry, I'm going to cover the wings in the Fairy Hugs glitter powder. And this is the translucent pearl one. I'm just tapping that off, and I do take that and put it over my garbage can and take a dry brush and scrape off any excess glitter, because I do not like to give my recipients loose glitter all over the place. So that way I make sure that I have scraped off any glitter that's going to come off in advance. So now I'm just putting this on a black mat that is a 1/4 inch bigger than my card front. So we have a nice little 1/8 inch border all the way around my card front. And we're going to put this onto my card base. Off screen, I did stamp the 2 dancing fairies on the inside of my card. I apparently did not get that on camera, but I do like to put something on the insides of my cards just to have a little something on the inside. That way they're not completely empty. So that finishes off the card for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Lavinia channel. My links for my personal social media and my YouTube channel are in the description box below. Also, the supply list is also in the description box below. And as always, have a great day.